Mark Radio of Body Elite here, and today we're talking the squat. One of the best movements you could do in the gym, but what a lot of people do wrong. So we're going to go over the basics and technique for any squat possible. A few things that you could do to help you out. So number one, we always reference it, the 3 points of contact. You should have watched every video in this section references to 3 points of contact. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. So let's quickly review. You had tailbone right between the shoulder blades and back of the head. I should be able to hold this position when I squat. My abs are engaged. So your range of motion when you squat is going to depend a lot on your mobility. You're going to hear a lot of people, oh, you have to get to 90 degrees or lower. Not if you're not flexible and mobile enough to do so. And you'll know because you'll break those 3 points of contact. If you break those 3 points of contact or overarch the back, you're going down too deep for your mobility. Again, make this movement yours. Don't judge it off what other people could do. So going through this, there's going to be multiple different angles in which your body can be at. Someone who's more mobile will be able to stay more upright with their spine. Someone who's not more mobile is going to have to throw the hips back more and more of a hinge motion. So every time you squat, you're not just bending at the knees, you're bending at the hips as well. So I'm keeping my 3 points of contact. Simultaneously, my hips and knees start to bend. And I'm coming down to that point. So for that stance, that's how deep I feel comfortable to hold that posture and 3 points of contact. If I widen my base a little bit, then I could probably get down a little bit deeper, holding those 3 points of contact. So again, I'm not judging what someone else tells me I have to do. I'm judging my depth in the squat off of my 3 points of contact. From there, again, you saw me really sitting back into my glutes. I was hinging at my hips a lot. And that's a good thing. You want to be able, by bending at the hips, you load up the glutes and the quads a lot better. It's not just all in the kneecap and all quads. You want to use the glutes when you squat. Now, from a front-on view, what are we looking at? We want your knees always to track your toes. Some people are going to feel comfortable with the toes out a little bit. Some straight ahead. I either teach it straight ahead or with a slight bow out of the toes. Wherever your toes go, though, your kneecap has to follow. You want your kneecap in line with your third and fourth toe. A lot of times you're going to see this, where the knees dive in, or where the knees are way out here beyond the toes. Either way, it's putting a lot of torque on your knee. So when I squat, I sit back into my glutes, my knees are tracking my third and fourth toe, and I'm down and I'm up. So again, the biggest fail we see are those knees diving in. And that's one thing that we really focus on correcting. So, in review, 3 points of contact. Bend at the knees and hips at the same time. Just don't bend at the knees. You have to sit back into it. Go to a proper depth, ideal for your mobility and your flexibility. Don't judge it off what other people tell you how far you have to go down. And lastly, knees in line with the toes. Ideally, the third and fourth toe you want to keep the kneecap in line with. Those are your cues and basics and technique for a squat.